to my YouTube channel, or if you're very new here, my name is Missa. Welcome. How are you all doing this evening? I think, well, whenever you're watching this, could be any time. I have been requested to do this video for ages and ages and ages, but it's mostly over on Instagram. I will link my Instagram up here. I'm way hotter over there because I can edit my photos, so you should definitely go follow me. I post every single day apart from weekends. I now give myself weekends off, but anyway, I digress. Today, as you can see by the title, very highly requested video from the people over on Instagram. It is how I edit my photos for Instagram, basically. Anyway, so I thought I would finally sit down and talk you through how I personally edit my photos. So first of all, a few specifics, just so you know like why my photos come out the way they do and why I need to make adjustments. I film and take photos on a Canon EOS M10. It's a very kind of basic, what people would say is a vlogging camera, but I don't have any money, so I can't buy one of like 700Ds or whatever they are. It's a good camera, I've enjoyed it. One day I will upgrade, hopefully soon, but we'll see. So I take my photos and film on that, and I have two soft, well, umbrella lights that I actually took the umbrellas off, and I have a ring light directly in front of me. It's an 18-inch newer ring light. Everything's actually listed in the very bottom of my description box. If you want to go and check it out, I would always recommend, if you want to take good photos, a ring light. Honestly, a ring light made the biggest difference to my photos, apart from upgrading from my phone to my camera. Now, I will say, one thing that I found incredibly helpful, if you take photos on your phone and you don't have a camera, get a selfie stick. Go down to your local pound store or order one on Amazon. A selfie stick will be your best friend, preferably one that obviously you can use the handle to take the photos. It will change everything. A lot of people ask me, like, I take photos on my phone but I can't get a good angle, like what do I do? A selfie stick. Trust me, honestly, it can look like someone else is taking your photo. You can take it from hugely different angles. You only have to use one hand. It's fab. But this camera that I've got is also fab because you can link it up to your phone and take the photos via your phone, so you don't have to like manually take photos, which would be awful. You can just like have your phone down here, check you're in focus, take the photo, you know. The last thing I will say is everything I'm going to show you is obviously what I do. I'm going to show you all the steps that I take, but I'll also show you some extremes. These lashes are really throwing me off. I do not like them at all, so ignore my eyes. Anyway, I will show you some extremes of what you can do, but it's completely up to you how much you want to edit your photos and what you're comfortable with. I personally have no problem with editing my photos, and I'm very honest and upfront with my followers on Instagram about how much I edit. I very often upload the unedited version as well, or I'll show like the process of how much someone can change their photo, and it really does open up people's eyes when they realize, like, wow, you can make your nose look more narrow, you can make your jaw look more defined, you can get rid of all your blemishes, you can make your eyes look bigger, like you can do anything. I am really basic when it comes to knowing how to edit, to be very frank with you. I don't know all of the tips and all of the tricks. I'm just going to show you what I've learned thus far, basically by just teaching myself. And also I watched a James Charles video back in the day. I don't watch James Charles, but I watched this video, and it was when he was editing a follower or subscriber's photo, and I learned a lot of tips that I will tell you now, but a lot of it is just what I've learned. I've waffled on for about 5 minutes now. I think we should quit fanning around and jump into how I edit my photos. If I dip in and out of like focus, it doesn't matter. You want to focus over here because that's where you're going to see all of the magic. I really need to burp. So as you can see on screen, I've circled an app. There's 2 apps I use to edit. I need to use 2 apps just because when I take photos on my camera, I don't have the settings optimized. I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to change it because they're perfect for filming. but my photos come out really dark. So the first app you're going to want to download is Photoshop Express. Just type in Photoshop Express into your app store. It's free, which is fab. It doesn't have like annoying pop-up ads or anything. It's great. And then the second app that you want to download is Facetune. There is a newer version of Facetune. I don't know how to use that. I've not downloaded it. I just use Facetune. It seems to work really well for me. So we're first of all going to start off by opening up Photoshop Express. So all you do is you're going to click into the app, and I've just selected this photo that is completely raw and unedited. I just thought it would be a good example to show you because it's come out really dark, and also I've got like glitter liner on, and there's things that I want to change about the photo, so it's a really good example to show you. Along the bottom, the very bottom, you can see a few icons, not where you can see like My Look's Basic Charm. That's all filters which you can add to your photo if you want. I never filter my photo, I just add edits and adjustments. So you're going to want to click on the third one along, which looks like a kind of little box. I'll be pointing to it on screen, I hope. And I always edit my photos down to Instagram size, so you just slip right along and you will see Instagram. And then if you press rotate just above the box where Instagram has popped up, you can flip horizontal. What's the other way? Vertical. You can rotate. A lot of people like putting their photos up like sideways because you basically look hotter sideways because your brain just like tries to make sense of what you're seeing. I'm very bad at doing this because it makes you look hotter, trust me. Upload a photo sideways that you don't like that much, you'll like it better. Right, so now I've cropped it so it's Instagram size, and I've also rotated it so I'm facing left. You're gonna press the button beside it, which has three little lines. Again, I'll be pointing to it. And we're gonna focus here on the color portion, so just slip along all the way along to color. Now, a lot of people say, oh, how do you get your eyeshadows to look so vibrant in photos? And this probably isn't the best photo to have as a reference for that because I've not got bright color eyeshadow on, I've got neutrals on, but it does still make a big difference even when you're wearing neutral eyeshadow, trust me. So you're gonna first wanna adjust vibrancy, bang it up. Just put vibrancy up as much as you're happy with. And you're also gonna wanna do the same thing with saturation. My screen, I just slipped across, but I'm still adjusting saturation here. I also put saturation up. You don't want to put it up too much because quite often if you've only got makeup on your face and like not your chest, it'll pick up on that and it'll make your face look really orange compared to your body. So just put saturation up just enough that you're happy with it. Again, all of this is going to be you playing around with how much vibrancy you want, how much saturation you want. Anyway, then we're going to go along to the left, which is light. This one is really important. I'd say just as important as vibrancy and saturation. Now, I just do this automatically. I do this by eye, and I look at the photo while I'm adjusting this. So when it comes to blacks, I put them quite low down, so I'll do in the minuses. Then when it comes to whites, I'll go up, and then shadows up. I go way up in highlights, up in contrast, but not very much. I never really go above 10 or 12 on contrast. And then exposure, that is going to be completely up to you how bright you want your photo to be. If you see I drag it left, it goes much darker, and if you drag it right, it goes much lighter. So again, just how much you prefer to lighten your photo or deepen it even. And then at the very top of the screen, this, I think it's the second left icon. Yeah, so the one beside the dots, again, I'll be pointing at it. Shut up, Melissa. You just want to click that and you want to say save. And then you've got it saved to your phone. So just showing you on screen now the difference between the completely raw, unedited photo and then the edited photo. It's so much brighter. It's also cropped much closer to your face. I personally only do makeup looks, not outfits or anything, so all my photos are pretty close up to my face, if not really close. And it looks better. It's more vibrant. It's just a better photo. I'm sure you'll agree. You could leave it here. I mean, I would actually be more than happy to just upload this to my Instagram, but I've got to go the extra hog. Okay, so you'll see I'm now pointing at the Facetune app. Just open up that app. You do have to pay for this. It's like £3.50 or something. I'm not entirely sure. I got this ages ago. And top left, you go to open photo. all photos and I'm going to select obviously the one that I used just a moment ago on Photoshop Express. I can use recommended size or maximum size. I use recommended size because I find my photos come out better. Now, once you've got your photo open, there is just a plethora, a joyfulness of things you can do to make yourself look a little bit hotter. Let's be honest, that's kind of the point of doing all these edits to yourself. So you can see behind me now, I have a white background, but on screen it comes up really grey and quite dark. I think it's just because the lighting in my room is not the best. It's very, very bright, but it's not great. So the first thing that I tend to do now, if I'm using my white background, because I do have a backdrop stand, but I never use it anymore, is I click the whiten icon, and then you can see on screen, my background is magically lighting. If I just pause this, I just want to show you what I'm actually doing with my finger. So when I'm whitening it, or when I'm doing anything going forward in this, it's literally just a case of scrubbing your finger along the screen, like where you want to whiten. So I'd be scrubbing along here, along the side. If I'm smoothing my skin, I would just be scrubbing my skin, but more zoomed in. So it's just a case of, yeah, easily just scrubbing your finger on your screen. That's how you do it. That was probably very obvious, but just in case. I just like whitening my background. I find it makes me in the middle stand out a lot more. It just makes it look a bit more professional, like I've got a nicer backdrop going on. I quite like my backdrop. I like having it more kind of environmental than like a backdrop stand. But I think now when you can see I'm pressing this bottom icon, I will be pointing it out to you on screen, and you can really see the difference where I've whitened the background compared to it not whitened, and I think you'll agree it does look a lot better than when it was looking very grey. So next I'm going to press on details at the bottom. I think this is one of the most important tools in Facetune to make you really, really, really stand out. So I am zooming right in, and the first thing I'm actually doing is just rubbing my finger over my headband just to really pick out all those really pretty jewels that are on it. And then the next thing I do is my eyebrows. This really makes your eyebrows stand out. Rub your finger across your eyebrow and it's gonna pick out every single hair. Trust me, like, it looks so much better. And then because I've got a glitter eyeliner on, I'm also rubbing my finger along my glitter eyeliner. And then if I zoom out and I show you the difference between the two images so far, it's incredible. Like, look at this eye and this eyeliner, like it stands out so much more now. That eyebrow looks so much better, in my opinion. So just on this screenshot, I'm just wanting to show you that tick, the little blue tick on the very top right hand side. After each step, so after whitening, after smoothing, after doing details, always click that because it will save what you've done. Because sometimes, like, say you maybe smooth too much and then you press X up at the top because you want to start again, it will start everything again, and that's really frustrating. So just make sure to click that each single time. Okay, so this next one is smoothing. This one is one that I find very, very handy. So I am getting some wrinkles, not happy about it. This smoothing tool is going to help you hide or erase your wrinkles. So I'm going to show you an example in this slide or the next one, which is very, very extreme. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I think it looks not very good in my opinion, but if you want to do this, do it, honestly. So again, along the bottom where you find everything, you're going to want to click on smooth, and you can see there's two options. There's smooth or smoother. I never ever use smoother because it's just too heavy, but I will show you that in a second. So I've clicked on smooth and I'm zooming in, and hopefully you can see that I'm just erasing the, well, kind of hiding a little bit my forehead lines. I never really erase my T-zone or smooth my T-zone because I like seeing pores. I think it helps make your photo look less photoshopped, which I think is quite important. And if I just do the thing before and after, hopefully you can see that it's a subtle difference. As well with your eyeshadow, as you can see, what I've done is I've just smoothed over my eyeshadow, just using my finger again, and it really makes your eyeshadow look more blended. I have had to do this on a couple of occasions when like one eye's looked great and the other eye I'm like, why, you really didn't blend that outer corner, did you? And I've just then kind of smoothed it a little, cheating it a little, just to make my other eye look a little bit better, let's be real. So you can, yeah, smooth over your eyeshadow. It's just going to make it look more blended. But again, you really don't want to overuse this tool because it's not the best. I also smooth over my lips if I'm wearing a matte liquid lipstick, which I'm doing in this photo, because quite often matte liquid lipsticks will really emphasize all the little lines in your lips, or maybe you've like got something on your lips, you know, like just as things happen, gross things, you may have just like a little bit of skin or something sticking up. Just smooth over it a little. Smooth over your problems. This next one is just me showing you the extremes of the smoother tool, like I said I was gonna. So I'm just like rubbing this all over my entire face. You can literally just see me disappear. Do it over your lips, your face, your pores, your eyeshadow, like your chest, if that is showing in your photo. You can do this over everything, and I'm sure you'll agree I just look too much. Like, look how much it smooths out your lips. That is just ridiculous. I don't look real. I look like a cartoon, like someone's drawn me as a cartoon. Like, look at how much it smooths that eyeshadow. It's just too much. I used to do this. Look at the difference. I look ridiculous. Oh gosh. But yeah, I used to do this to a lot of my photos, like between 6 months and a year ago, and now I can't use any of those photos where my makeup actually was really cool and I'd love to be able to post the photos, but because I just overly smoothed, I can't use them. But again, that is completely up to you and your preferences. Right, this one is really important as well. This is tones. So again, along the bottom, you're gonna need to make sure to press picker. It just automatically pops up on tones. Hopefully I'm pointing to this here on screen. You need to press picker. Now, the first step I do is I always emphasize my highlight, because we all want our highlight to be popping. Benefit cookie, if you're wondering. It's all I'm wearing all the time now. So you're gonna want to zoom in and find the point of your highlight that is like the brightest on picker, on the picker tool. And then once you've found it, it shows up just at the side there in palette. Hopefully I'm pointing at that to you. That is when you then click tones, and that is when you can start then adding more highlight to your face. Do very gentle motions on this, like just press very lightly. It is so easy to overdo it and it looks ridiculous. Again, any kind of over editing looks ridiculous in my opinion. This is probably the maximum I would go to, what I'm kind of before and aftering for you. Personally, yeah, you can just add too much, and again it kind of adds to that like plastic look. So you just want to make it look slightly better, because sometimes like in real life when you photograph your makeup and you've put a lot of highlight on, maybe it just doesn't show, and you want to just, you know, add a bit more, make sure you're looking as highlighted as you meant to look. Hold on, all of this talking is thirsty work. But just remember, again, everything I'm saying to you is my personal preference on how I do things, and how you choose to edit your photos is completely personal to you. So don't take my word as gospel. Download these apps, play with your own photos, and find out what you like for yourself. Now, if you're anything like me and you use glitter like every single day, do I have lipstick on my teeth? Kind of. It can be very hard to show glitter up in photos. So you've already seen I used the detail tool over my eyeliner to make it really stand out, because it definitely looked really washed out in my first photo. So now I'm using the tones tool, and I'm using picker, and I'm going on my eyeliner and I'm just like scrolling along my finger to try and find a nice light color from my eyeliner. And I'm using the picker tool to pick it. And then I'm clicking back on tones, and I'm literally just going to kind of tap this and swipe it over my eyeliner to really make my eyeliner stand out a lot more. Again, this is something you can overuse, but I will quite often take artistic license with this and just add a bit more, just make it more vibrant, because why don't you want the most vibrant of glitters? You can also see, this was just an example, I just scrubbed it over my black eyelashes. Just click on the erase tool right beside it and you'll be able to see where you can, and you'll be able to see if you just click erase, you can erase everything that you've done. Basically, as long as you haven't saved it at that point, you can just erase what you've done. And then, I mean, the before and after speaks for itself. It just stands out so much more and looks so much more bomb. This next one, I'm using Tones Picker. I am picking the very blackest point of my eyelashes. This is really handy because quite often you'll get glitter fallout onto your eyelashes or eyeshadow fallout or powder. Just scrub a little bit of black, see the difference there? It just makes your eyelashes look like they're applied better and like you've not forgotten to like go back and clean up your eyelashes, because I put my eyelashes on quite early into my makeup process, so they'll get like powder and glitter and stuff falling out onto them. Again, just showing you here that if you like accidentally put it in an area, you can just erase it, don't worry about it too much, and then again just save the photo so that you're happy with it. I think that looks so much better personally. Okay, so this is the reshape tool. This is a great tool. I am obviously showing you a ridiculous example here. I am just going ham. I mean, personally, I think I've made myself look a lot more beautiful. Like, look at that eye, wow. I've actually never played with it like this before. I just wanted to show you a ridiculous example of how much this reshape tool can change your face. I do use this to make my lips look a bit bigger. That's a really good use of it, or to define your jawline a bit more. In fact, what I've recently started doing as well is make my forehead look smaller, because I'm very self-conscious about my forehead. I'm actually really happy with the size of my lips overall. I wouldn't consider getting filler. I do overdraw them, but I think it looks quite natural because my lips are naturally like not that small. But I'm going to show you like what edits you can make that don't look ridiculous. So one of them is maybe making your jaw look a bit more defined. So I've just kind of pulled out my jaw pinch just to make it look kind of more square. People are getting jaw filler these days. That's another thing we all have to add to what we need to feel self-conscious about. So you can see I just did that, and then you can, if maybe one of your eyes like me, if you've got a lazy eye, you can adjust it just by like pushing up your eyebrow a wee bit just to match the other one. That's what I've also done in this photo. And then there's not a huge difference, it's just tiny little touches I think that make a big difference overall. And then when it comes to your lips, if you do want to make them look bigger, make sure you zoom in as much as possible and do tiny little movements, because it's very easy to make your lips look ridiculous. So I like zoom out, check what it looks like, and then try and make the other side symmetrical. This is also really good if you don't have symmetrical lips. Just adjust one side and to match the other. But yeah, I'm just like making my bottom lip a little bit bigger and my top a little bit bigger. You can see if I zoom out, it's not a huge difference, but I do feel like overall to the picture, I mean, big lips are desirable, aren't they? It's all society putting these things on us. We need bigger lips, we need jaw filler, we need all of this crap. So I'm pandering to it. I don't care, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel bad about doing it because I'm also on video 3 times a week on here and people know what I actually look like. Do you know what I mean? Also, I know this probably sounds like quite a lot, but once you get into the swing of how to do it, it takes me maybe 30 seconds to a minute to edit one photo, so don't worry too much. So yeah, these next few steps are very optional for me when it comes to editing my photos. This one, for example, I've just scrolled along to, what tool was it called? Hold on. Like I said, it's all on like autopilot now, so I kind of forget. Yeah, so I'm scrolling along to defocus, and then I click on blur. Just gonna blur my background, so just scrub your finger over it. Make everything a little bit more blurred if you want to. If you do this though, do make sure to zoom in and go all around your actual person and just erase just right around yourself, because it's quite easy to like blur your hair by accident and it looks a little bit funny. So there you go, you can just see the difference between my background being blurred and not blurred. Doesn't make a huge difference, but it can make quite a big difference depending on what your background setting is. That's completely up to you. And then this last one that I'm showing you, I didn't actually have a photo where I have like a big spot showing, because by now I've edited that out of all of my photos. I don't get big spots that often, but I do get them sometimes. So what I've done to compensate is I've just put a tiny little love heart emoji on my forehead. Like you can see, I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna make sure that I've clicked on the patch tool. My friend taught me this is really good as well, because sometimes I'll take like a close-up of my eyes and I'll have like a single hair just down here, and you can just like patch that out. It takes a bit of time, but this one's really, really simple. So what you want to do is click patch, and then you click on your spot or your blemish, whatever you're trying to get rid of, and you just make the circle big enough just by like swiping with your fingers, like zooming in with your fingers. And then as the other circle has appeared, just make sure that circle is like right beside your spot, unless you have another big spot there, and then pick another place on your face, because you don't want to like have a spot on your chin where you've got no other makeup, and then like choose the other circle to be where your blush and bronzer is, because whatever you are trying to cover it with is gonna go into that area. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like if I had a big spot here and I pressed patch on this big spot and then drag the other circle up to like my cheek, it would put a big round circle of like red and brown down my chin. So you want to select the skin that's right beside your blemish, because that's most likely going to match it very, very well. Make it big enough, cover your spot. Bob's your uncle. Ain't got no spot anymore. So then, when you're happy with your photo, top right hand icon, save to camera roll, and then you've got your photo in your camera roll. And then this last slide that I'm going to show you, I'm just going to show you the raw image, the image that went through Photoshop Express, to then the image that went through Facetune eventually. So yeah, it is 2 big steps, but it does literally take minutes once you've learned how to do it, I promise you that. So yeah, the first one, I look pretty dark. Nothing's very vibrant about this photo. You can see all my wrinkles. It's just not the best photo. I'd still kind of upload it to Instagram, probably with a filter, and be like, ooh, the old-fashioned kind of photo. This is it when it's gone through Photoshop Express. It's just a lot brighter and more vibrant when you compare it to the first image. I think there is a really, really, really big difference, personally. Like, look at that. Come on. Big difference. And then this next slide is when it's gone through Photoshop Express. This is the maximum I would personally now ever edit a photo, and I know it's probably more edited than a lot of you would actually edit. To me, this is fine. I'm happy with it. I'm much brighter. You can see the detail, you can see the color. I'm closer. I'm the perfect size for Instagram. Everything's popping, and that's it. Looking great. So that is how I personally edit my photos for Instagram. It might seem like a lot of work, but you get used to it. And like I said, if you maybe don't have a camera that you can take it on, trust me and buy a selfie stick. It will be incredible for you. They're like £1 or like £5 on Amazon. Best thing I ever did, apart from getting my ring light, which changed everything, because the ring light just really shows your makeup off better than if you had to use natural light. I mean, natural light can be good, but a ring light is fab if you're wanting to show off like beauty makeup or anything like that. So yeah, I really hope this helped at least one person. Let me know if it did. You know the drill. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it in any way. Even if you didn't, just give it a pity thumbs up. I appreciate those as well. And if you want to give it a downvote, do it. Please, because YouTube does not know the difference between an upvote and a downvote. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section. I do reply to every single comment that I get. And subscribe, because it's just a polite thing to do, and the internet is not a very nice place. And I think that's all from me today. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace out. Peace out from me.